Hi, this is Onion, continuing my playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Online. This is Heaven's Ward, and we are starting the level 54, in the middle of the 54 main story quest, with text to audio, so please enjoy the story. We're cutting out all traveling, and we're doing this to enjoy the story, plus picking up things along the way that are beneficial to progressing the main story. Thanks for joining.
As Chieftain Muglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hraesvelgr's attention. I'll come along, and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo. Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in one piece. Kupo, I wonder what has the dragon so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hraesvelgr invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable.
If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well, then. I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthis.
Humph. Clear our minds? 'Tis Master Alphino whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Onion, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what look like stew ingredients, ready for the fire.
Ah, few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making.
Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and a flint.
'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to sail with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and, alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers. How ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the science.
We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives, never knowing what it is that they fight for? Never questioning that which they have been taught to believe? 'Twas only upon meeting Hraesvelgr that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See, and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things, I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war.
If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge.
You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear, with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here, amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nitok killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragon Song War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nitok myself, orders or no.
Estinian, you gave your word.
My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hraesvelgr of the righteousness of your cause.
Doubt not but that I shall, Dragoon.
Well, winds willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now, and face our fate with the rising of the sun.
The campfire was so cozy. I must have fallen asleep, Kupo, but do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Hraesvelgr back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace, and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So, LL be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you.
Hraesvelgr. By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Hraesvelgr. Do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth about your past, about Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Lis umwes, anheshi en eski anshis li eshishin.
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Esklai forul, ineshi lai, kano kisesole. Non shi esh olin, inesh in el duolin. I'm for is el ni an il ankin, lisnesk nedidranan. Eskia unkin nesh, ikin monesh Nesk esh ed all. Esk esh easy lis nice.
Then the spirit that answered me.
Ntene. Esh edi in eski. Non esi somi shisi shi.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
Ten I el gain, kakole som in. Slosk star ishiste, stosk in, n asai innosk. Teto hamafo, esk ein isorn ul an, dran il ul esk afashi.
I'm very sorry about this. Like, this is for everyone that can't read, so I'm gonna try. 1200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation.
Fia aini kinu, losken stari strari dran, lar hesne schnell.
2 centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Elzen learned much about us, not least that the eyes of the great worm were the wellspring of his strength.
Toha mafta, feskdu for one istrasi, on lis eshtai thorn.
Was out of the selfish desire to possess the strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all our peoples had achieved together.
Sai if in erned, or ratatoska, stray morning.
With the aid of his lead knights, the most noble of Elazin, my blood sister, Rata tossed into an ambush and took from her which he craved.
Seski anuman lisna kasea, tjenened el monikel, eskian hesnesh is hesnesh as list.
Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my blood sister's tattered corpse, defiled by the Elazin allies. They had torn out her eyes and feasted upon them in the manner of wild beasts.
Is lufta, sith stra an tu il. Kish an esh elna.
Yet that was not all, for from their bloody banquet, the fiends had gained the strength beyond the mortal men. Even now, I labor to comprehend the eremity of their betrayal.
Sith mon I ratatoska nisheg ed. For always in dar.
Nidhogg was the first to learn of the autocracy, and he took to the skies hungry for vengeance.
Kal Eikmon thorn en Yui. Ale fe in leita. Workin ushkin in.
But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, the fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears. And with now practiced savagery, they set about my blood brother, sending him flailing from the field.
San es shisnishka. Stadrana mohi.
Such is the truth the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War.
Snodoan ki ulteda ma azmornish.
'Tis a song my kind shall ne'er forget, and should 10,000 years pass and Ishgard crumble to dust.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, Dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Mixai eski listain. Non miki hisikin. Kua ala ein el.
What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine ever-walking moments is no less than the truth to my kind.
Sai an usin afa an thorn nisheg.
And Nidhogg meaneth for Thordan's people to suffer for their sin till the end of days.
Non wo I alamon a. Skor esk nik I es. Nes so I an on in. Do in an. Olodra.
That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire of the torment? Those who abandon their own and side with dragonkind.
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Sale. Orn I nesh iratatoska kin for elna. Sith is nesh dokin an.
Know that all the traitors' progeny bear a trace of Radatos' essence, but a single sip of our blood is enough to awaken it.
Then, the seed lies within us.
Is ros esh idran. Oloson inizeg. Non nish I esk diadran en. Wa ulwa skola es alakin el andranken. Mondo.
'Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus are they transformed, to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. But one by one, though death or deflection, my blood brothers blood brothers shall account for all of their betrayal's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
War Ulmon Alaan as Grao.
There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end, like thee, Dragoon.
Kawol Smaim Kol Su Thrahal Seskmoni Se'an Inkinizeg.
But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent, ere thou reachest 210, and Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
In ice in Drago, Ale Inia in.
Thou hast the right of it, Dragon Slayer. Comprehends thou now the utility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Ja an, lis as an in la tu ole ul in an hers isu.
Stubborn child, thou thinkst in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp.
Mik du set in sohi, nosta no lis as dui for in.
'Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou dost not perpetrate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deeds of history seem distant to thee.
An isi a uldran as nisek for, in lai as nesh I an iratatoska.
For a worm such as Nidhogg, however, that history is yet part of his presence, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratatas' wounds. How could he not be driven mad?
In sith son ishi eskfar ulgar los an.
'Tis only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me.
Snosk for an, non an lis I an. Skol lens an. Skol.
But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. I am so sorry for that. My reading is not the greatest at all, and I apologize if that ruined it for anyone that can read these better. Again, I'm trying to do this so others can enjoy the story and understand what's going on. And that of 3 or 4 playthroughs, that's my first time not skipping that cutscene. Thank you for indulging me and letting me get through that.
Hraesvelgr was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe. But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Alright, I'm going to pause there. We met the dragon, and now the next part is getting to the Eyrie, and that's a good amount of 6 or 7 quests. So I'll start that in the next one. Thanks for watching.